it going?
Welcome back to episode 8.
You gotta be careful there. Episode 8 of That
Tracks
Tracks
with Eythen and
Carolyn.
Guys, we're so happy to be back.
It's been a while. It's felt
we had
like
a
forever.
little hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go on vacation.
And I had to work.
Exactly. Eythen had to make a short film.
I make a short film. All stuff we'll get into.
Exactly.
Yeah, a very busy couple weeks.
It was. You know, I actually have a story right off rip I have to share.
Oh, wait, I think I know which one this is.
I think you do.
Yeah.
So, friends of the pod, friends of Carolyn will know that my greatest fear is taxidermy.
Aquariums, taxidermy, yeah.
And it's been since I was a young child, like 7 years old. I went to this restaurant with my cousins, and they told me that this restaurant was really cool because it had animatronic deer heads that would like talk and sing. And I was like, okay, cool. Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got there and we were at this big table, and I was seated at the head of the table. And at the end of the table was this large moose head.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my cousin, like, is this one that's going to talk or is this one going to stay still? And I was asking a 6-year-old, and she was like, I think it'll stay still. And I was like, great. So I'm eating my buttered noodles, and all of a sudden the moose head starts blinking, shakes its head, whips down and looks at me and says, hello there. And I've been scared ever since.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, I was on a ski trip.
Yeah,
right?
where were you?
I was in Colorado.
In Colorado, right?
In Colorado, in the Rocky Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there with my family, and we were going out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I should have known that a steakhouse in the mountains would have taxidermy.
At least one.
I have graduated past the age where my mother calls the restaurant and asks, because I am 24,
Mm-hmm.
and people think that usually I can handle, a dining experience.
Right, yeah.
I walk in, go to the hostess stand. Immediately in the back of the restaurant, I see the biggest piece of taxidermy I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
A bison head. Ethan's seen the picture. We'll insert the picture.
It's massive. It's really
the
big.
Biggest head I've ever seen in my life, with this like screwed up teeth mouth situation. I didn't even get close to it, and I could tell from the other side of the restaurant, this is bad news. But I was like, God loves me. I won't be seated in that section.
Right.
All will be fine. No, we were seated in the section.
Of course.
And we walk in the room, and I had to resort to the blinders technique, where you walk like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, Carolyn, let's just back you up underneath it. So I'm literally like, my sister's like guiding me back into it.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down. I can tell my spidey senses. I know the bison head's hanging over me.
Right, yeah.
I was like, this is not going to work. I feel like my heart like beating. My hands are clammy. I feel like I'm going to faint. And I was like, I must be excused. I go out front, and the manager of the restaurant comes up and is like, hey, what's going on? I was like, I can't be in that room. So sorry. I know I'm an adult woman. Can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's sit in that room or go home, I'll start walking right now. And they were like, we cannot lose the tip of an 8-person party.
Right.
Like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting outside for a while. The solution was me and my boyfriend would have our own two-top in a non-taxidermy room.
Yeah.
My other family members would sit under the bison. And they were like, it's a restaurant first. We've never had anyone refuse to eat in a room because of the taxidermy. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it was a good reminder that your childhood demons never leave you.
They never leave you. That bison.
And people, like, I know it's a niche fear. I know it's not a common phobia.
It feels like it's reasonable, though. It's very reasonable.
Yeah, well, I cannot come up with a single reason why I should be ashamed of my anti-corpse decorations.
No, I mean, when you put like as corpse decoration, yeah.
Yeah, why decorate your home with a corpse? Or even worse, part of a corpse. A beheaded corpse.
Touche.
You're like, look at this wonderful den with these mahogany walls and this exposed brick. You know what would go great above the fireplace?
A deer.
A decapitated head of a corpse.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, but I killed it myself. So that's better? To feel like a man, you had to go shoot something that you found outside?
Mm-hmm. Fair. No, all fair. All fair. But other than that, was the trip good?
Well, as you can tell.
Yeah.
I sustained a treacherous injury.
Scarred from battle. For the listeners, who have no idea what this injury is, would you care to describe?
I sprained my pinky.
You sprained your pinky.
Kind of the most pathetic little injury a human can have. You don't need your pinky for anything, really, is what one thinks.
Right.
Until you're at work trying to, like, wash bottles. And I was just... It's been 2 weeks. It's not getting better. I know I should go to the doctor. I
Yeah.
literally have insurance. I should just go to the doctor. There's an urgent care like 5 minutes away that I can just walk to.
Yeah.
But who goes to the doctor?
Especially in this day and age.
Exactly.
And what are they going to do? Say like, oh, your pinky's broken.
And I know it's not broken.
Yeah.
It's just like strained. So what are they going to say? It's strained.
Don't use your pinky?
Don't use your pinky? Yeah.
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 Come
Come on.
back in the old days, there were no doctors. And they were fine.
Exactly.
For a bit.
It would just rot and kill you.
Yeah.
Right?
I
That's why
mean-
we needed doctors?
Well, I mean, probably. And also, since someone can make money.
No, exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
Why do I want to give money to the for-profit medical industrial complex of the United States?
You have insurance, though.
I have insurance, and actually, my father's a doctor, so my entire life was created by the medical industry.
You're kind of a nepo in that way. Yeah. Well, I guess you're not.
Wait, I don't go to the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten 2 eye exams in my lifetime.
Oh, so I guess you're kind of like a rebellion then.
Exactly.
You're
Exactly. Me not going
Fuck
to
up.
the doctor is me rebelling against my nepo doctor bloodline.
Exactly. Cool.
Yeah, and he's an eye doctor. It's not like what's he gonna do? Be like, you're figuring these glasses. I don't go to the doctor because my dad's a doctor. I can just call him and he'll be like, oh, I don't know, take some ibuprofen, and I'm like, boom,
Boom. Easy.
Eythen, what's going on with you? It's a fly.
While you were out skiing, enjoying nature, I've been working like a dog.
Woof woof.
Woof woof. Rough. I'll tell you that. But yeah, no, it's just working at the cheese shop, and also working on a short film,
Pew, 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 pew.
which is premiering tonight.
That's where we're going next.
That's where we're
guys.
going next.
This whole pod is just the preamble.
Yeah, exactly. The preamble and the pregame.
The preamble pregame.
Exactly. Yeah, it's with the Fuck It Film Festival, with the BCC, the Brooklyn Comedy Collective.
We love you, BCC.
We love you, BCC. And it was really fun. This is my first time really making a short film, so I think it turned out well. I think it turned out quite well.
And you were all of it. You were.
I directed it. I co-wrote it with Carolyn's boyfriend Noah, and also my
You
friend.
wrote it, and he gave you some notes.
Oh, I'm going to say co-write because what happened is that I wrote a first draft of the script. Noah gave me some notes. I wrote a second draft that was way better, and then Noah wrote a punched up script that had a bunch of like extra jokes in there, and I took some of those jokes. So I consider that a co-write.
Directed by you.
Starring me. I did the editing.
Edited by you. Produced by you.
I guess you could say produced by
Production managed by you.
Oh, I guess. I didn't
Location scout. You.
Oh, true. Wow, I gotta add those to the credits.
Audio mixing. You.
Man, that's a lot, actually.
Production assistant. I feel like you were your own.
I was my own. Yeah, I was carrying a lot of shit.
You did it all.
I did it all. And hopefully it turned out well. If not...
If not, we'll cut it from the pod.
Yeah, if not...
we'll scratch it from the record.
Yeah, actually, I did not make any short film. I have no memory of that at all.
Well, I feel like you didn't mention the biggest contribution that anyone made to your film.
Which is right. Yeah, it wouldn't be possible if I didn't have a camera. And who had a camera? Carolyn.
Yeah, so really, I guess I made a short film.
Yeah, in actuality, I think you are the top of the
Yeah, above the title.
Exactly, yeah.
Carolyn Ausler's camera presents.
Carolyn Ausler camera presents, yeah. It's hard to be a cowboy.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, it was really fun shooting, too. That we did it on a Saturday.
You did everything in one day.
We did everything in one day, which was wild, because I bought an extra camera battery. We had both fully charged, and we used up all of the juice to film everything. And then I was so tired at 6 p.m. Because we started from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I don't really Grubhub. I don't like doing like DoorDash or anything like that. Just because I'm in the city, I can walk around and get food. That's a big thing for me. But after that shoot, I just sat on the couch and I Grubhub like $50 worth of food. I was grubbing on the couch.
Grubbing.
Yeah. And then like Steven, my roommate, he came in and was like, Eythen, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not moving though. I'm not moving.
Did you sleep on the couch that night?
No, because Steven was like, hey, I'm going to watch Heat. I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to watch Heat. I guess I'm going to leave.
I'm going to go to my bed.
I'm going to go to my bed.
In my bedroom.
Because before I was watching Heat, I was watching a different show, actually. Which maybe brings us into our topic.
Let's hit it.
Folks, we've talked a lot about reality TV. a lot about reality TV. I was gonna say Carolyn mentions it more so, but I think it's an even split. Some of our Rescue Survivor, reality dating. We love reality TV. My recent obsession has been the MTV show Silent Library. Carolyn, do you know anything about Silent Library?
I saw a reel on Instagram with people playing hide and seek in like a extreme location. Maybe that's this show?
Not at all, actually.
I definitely thought it was like extreme hide and seek.
It's not extreme hide and seek. The premise: Silent Library. You bring 6 contestants into a room, ideally a library-looking space, and they have to do a series of challenges while staying quiet, and they can win money by doing that.
How much money?
You can win max $5,500.
5,500?
Yeah.
5500?
$5,500.
Interesting price amount. I've never seen that amount offered.
It is an odd price.
To split or for
the split?
So you get $1,100?
That's no. It's divided by 6.
Oh, 6?
Yeah.
5,000 to theater school. But I was an athlete.
Yeah. Check the footage. Check the footage. We know that. So a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
Well,
and you have to pay taxes.
Yeah, pay taxes.
As you're supposed to do.
So let's say like $800.
All right.
And that's the max you could win.
Okay.
Most folks are getting closer to like $550, $600.
All right.
Now, Carolyn, I love this show. I love this show because I was never a big MTV like guy. The most experience I had with MTV was with my dad because he loved the show Ridiculousness. Do you know that?
I have heard the name.
Yeah.
I've never watched it.
Okay.
Don't know what it is.
Quick premise on Ridiculousness. It's like America's Funniest Home Videos.
Okay.
But raunchier.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so but I've been looking back at like classic MTV stuff. Like I love looking at their anime stuff is crazy. Huh. Like Daria, Beavis and Butthead, The Max.
The Max?
The Max. We'll talk about The Max later in a different episode. So Silent Library, I love. I think it's a great game show because it's quite... What's the word for it? It's dumb. It's mindless, something mindless I can put on and just relax.
I mean, that's kind of the charm of all reality TV, especially competition.
Competition.
You had me with competition reality.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And it was only released 4 seasons. They only released 4 seasons between 2009 and 2011. It's so brilliant. It's such a brilliant show, and I wish it would come back. And I wish I could be on it, which we'll talk about later. But first, I have a little game.
I would love to play a game.
Little game. So, the host is Zero Kasama. Now, I should also mention, Silent Library is based off a Japanese game show.
Okay.
And then it sort of came on to MTV, and it had its own spin-off. With each round of the show, the 6 contestants, they're given a card. And if their card is green, they don't have to do the challenge.
Oh.
If it's a yellow card with skull and crossbones, they do the challenge.
Okay.
Someone gets it, they have to pull a lever, and it reveals the name of the challenge.
Okay.
Now, some of these names are interesting choices, and you're left wondering, what's the challenge going to be? What is this going to entail? So I have a few challenges listed here.
Okay.
And I want you to guess what does this entail? What is the challenge going to be?
Love it. This is a great idea.
Yeah. And I'll read one challenge, and I'll read what it entails just to get an idea of, what is this going to be? So, first one, Prince Search. Prince Search, the contestant must kiss a frog for 15 seconds.
So they have nothing to do with it. Vaguely something to do.
Yeah, it could be. It's a lot of room for that.
Okay.
So let's do another one. Below belt.
You have to streak. You have to take your pants off and run around.
No. Actually, there hasn't been a lot of nudity in the show from what I've seen.
You have to wear an adult diaper.
No. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
A contestant has to fit a bunch of groceries in their pants.
Oh.
Classic, which is kind of similar to another one where...
And you can't make any sound with your mouth or any sound, period?
That's a great question. So we'll come back to the game in a sec. That's a great question. So that's kind of iffy. Really, not being loud is the thing. And which makes some of the challenges kind of complex Because some, the person who's participating in the challenge, their goal is to stay quiet. And it can be difficult because they're being surprised, or they're doing like a sickening challenge, whatever. But on the flip side, if the challenge is simple but like humiliating or humorous, the other contestants, your like team, has to stay quiet too. So if they're laughing about, you're not going to win money either. So it's a mix there of like, oh, I have to stay quiet, but also my team needs to shut the fuck up too.
But it's only like vocal noises that we're trying to... Like, I'm thinking if I'm putting groceries in my pants, there's going to be sounds of like the belt unbuckling or the zipper. Do those count against you?
No, those are not going to count against you. It's going to be mostly vocal stuff.
Got it. I didn't know if it was like I was picturing this old, big, massive, like, decibel reader with like a big scale, and if you go into the red, then you get shot.
You're in the right range actually with that. There's definitely the decibel meter. No one's been shot yet. Well, I guess not yet because the show's done. Great question.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'm ready.
This is a dumb one. Fish music.
You have to hold water in your mouth with your cheeks puffed up, looking like a fish, and dance.
No, but that's fun. I like that.
Fish music.
Fish music.
You have to, like, bob for apples.
Okay.
And, like, in a body of water, using your mouth with no hands to fish for something.
No.
You play the violin to your pet fish, silently.
Silently. A contestant must play a harmonica through the mouth of a fish.
Must play a harmonica through the mouth of a fish.
Right, so the setup here is there's a platter. On the platter is a fish. In the mouth of the fish...
It's dead or alive?
Dead. Oh. And in the mouth of the fish is a harmonica. And the contestant has to blow into the harmonica.
That the fish is holding in its
exactly.
mouth.
For 30 seconds, I believe.
Ew.
Yeah.
And it would be stinky.
That's the thing. So the contestant has to, like, not retch. It have to be quiet whenever they play that. I remember this one because Jimmy Fallon was on an episode. Which I feel
they get stunt casting?
Yeah. Which I feel like is the worst team member to have, actually, in a show like this.
Yeah, he doesn't really shut up ever.
He doesn't. He laughed a lot too.
Is it all a celebrity cast?
No. There's only a few like Jimmy Fallon and his band The Roots was on one. Mm-hmm. Jersey Shore was on one. There was a few WWE wrestlers that were on one.
So that tracks. Oh, but it's canceled. Damn.
It is canceled. Yeah.
We'll have to go on Guy's grocery games.
Yes. Or I guess we'll have to rebuild it from the ground up.
What if?
Guys, if you want to see us do Silent Library, leave a comment.
We need 8,000 likes and $20,000.
Yeah, a minimum. Actually, $20,000 I think that'd be so doable.
If someone wants to fund us, we'll do it.
Yeah, honestly. Fish flakes.
What is the fish kink going on here?
I have no idea.
Fish flakes.
Fish flakes. Don't overthink this one.
You have to descale a fish using your teeth.
You're overthinking it.
Fish flakes.
Fish flakes.
You have to catch snowflakes in the mouth of a fish?
Even simpler.
You eat frosted flakes using a fish as your spoon?
You're getting warmer, but you're still off.
Fish flakes. Flake.
There's no punchline here.
Fish flake.
You have to eat a bowl of fish flakes.
What are fish flakes?
Fish flakes is like fish food.
Ew!
Yeah.
Oh!
And one more. Last one. A crotch doctor.
But you said there's limited nudity. That's what's tricking me.
Yeah, there should be more. If we bring it back, there's gonna be way more nudity.
Way more nudity. More nudity, more cursing.
Exactly. More drinking. We're gonna talk about that too. Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
A crotch doctor.
Crotch doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hold something between your thighs.
I'll just tell you. A contestant must let a mechanical leg kick him in the crotch 3 times.
Only men get to do that one?
Yeah.
What's the doctor part? They really just pick a noun and throw it in the title.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I will not argue with that. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't get any of them.
That's okay. And you know what? That was kind of the vibe I was going for. So, I'm just going to start out by saying this. I think I would kill on this show.
100%.
100%. The problem is that I don't think I can build a team. Because it'd be great if we were on together, but I don't think
No, I would not do it.
Yeah.
I would not. I would go, you! No!
Exactly. And on the flip side, I don't think I could get Noah on the team either, only because he makes me laugh so much that I feel like I'm gonna. Yeah, he makes me laugh a lot, so I feel like we're gonna lose money if we're on the same team.
So you come on with a crew. The MTV doesn't pick for you. You like apply as a squad.
Exactly. Yeah, you come on as a crew.
How many people?
A 6.
6. Yes, yeah. That's 6-way split. So you're trying to figure out your lineup.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna need 5 people who are down for about anything,
and to not make a sound.
Exactly.
Craigslist.
Not Jesus Christ. I just believe that I would be a great candidate for this show, because I think I'm pretty quiet. The only thing that will get me is any like scares. Like I get scared pretty easily.
Yeah. And they have those, like the Ellen hide your biggest fear in a box.
Yeah, there was one that was one of those fortune telling machines, and someone went up to get a fortune, and the machine came alive and dropped it like a crystal ball on her head. And you can't make a sound. You can't make a sound, exactly.
So what's the penalty for making sound? Is it like too hot to handle, where it's like all the money's gone because you jerked off?
No,
it's like $8.
No, the first 3 rounds you can win $300 each. Like
okay.
Like challenge. Second round, $400. The third round, $800, and the last round is $1,000. So adding that up, that's about $5,500 total. And yeah, if you
don't get it, you just don't get.
You just don't get the money.
There's no penalty.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no penalty.
There's no taxes.
There's no
not
taxes.
until you win.
Not until you win. Exactly. So the scared stuff, I don't think I'd be good at. But the gross stuff, I think I'd be kind of okay with. Especially like, there's a lot of gross food stuff in there, and I know.
Sign me up.
I know my parents are gonna listen to this and be like, oh, like, because I was a picky eater. I didn't like ketchup and all that.
Same. So true.
So true. But the thing is that I think I can handle these concoctions. I think like one of them it was a blender of lemonade, a chili dog, funnel cake,
oh my god,
and like 2 other things. And I'm like, easy. I could do that because I'll give you an example. Here's what I had for dinner yesterday, and over the span of an hour and a half.
Oh no.
I started with a bowl of rice and tuna with soy sauce and a chili paste.
Okay.
Then I had 2 slices of matcha pie, like back to back.
Okay.
Then I had some salt and vinegar chips after that. And then I took half a loaf of a baguette and made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I woke up feeling the worst stomach pain in my life, which makes sense.
PB and Jaggett.
I don't know about that one. But so I can handle like a mix of gross food.
Right. But they would be pre-mixed. Your stomach just did the mixing afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
Save time.
It save time. Yeah. I think those I can handle. Also, some of these I don't even think are real challenges. Like there's one where you contestant has to suck the cheese dust off someone's fingers. You know, that were in like a Cheeto bag or whatever.
Yeah.
You're getting $500 for doing that. And real talk, I'd probably do it for $50.
There's no way for that to not be absurdly sensual.
Well, right.
So you got to think about when you pick your team, whose fingers do you want to be sucking?
That's the thing. It's not your teammate. It's a random guy.
Oh, just like production assistant comes in and is like, here you go.
There's a PA with like the greasiest fingers.
Oh, God. I couldn't do any of this.
But see, that feels so easy.
Oh, my God. But when did he wash his hands last?
I don't know. I'm not asking that question. I'm asking like, okay, give me those fingers. It's... Folks were like, I don't think I ever saw someone complete that challenge. I'm like, that seems the easiest one to do.
Oh.
Like, I would lick them clean.
Oh.
Yeah.
Eythen.
And honestly, I wouldn't do it for free. Let me be clear. I wouldn't do that for free.
But for one bodega sandwich?
Yeah, but like if you're saying what's the minimum I would do it for, probably $50. Yeah, I'd say $50. $100 if I didn't know the guy. Like, I didn't know where his hands was.
How much would you have to pay me?
Oh, that's a good question.
To suck the Cheeto dust off all 10 fingers.
Only 5.
Off of 5 fingers of a person I have not met and don't get to screen. Do I get to interview them? What are your typical hygiene habits?
No, and trust me, they choose the guy that looks the grossest. So.
Probably $5,000.
Holy shit, Carolyn. Holy shit. You would not be on this show. That's the whole budget.
The first thing you said about the show, I was like, not enough money.
Yeah.
Not interested. Next.
See, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Let me give you a different hypothetical. You're on Survivor.
Yeah.
It's like week 4. And it's one of the challenges. And there's a immunity idol on the line.
Wow.
And Jeff Mike Prost. What's his name? Jeff Prost.
Look at you go.
He comes out and he's munching on Cheetos. He's munching on Cheetos, going crazy. And he's like, challengers, for the chance for an immunity idol.
Oh, easy. Done. I'll be the first one off the block.
And that's the thing, exactly. Like, it's all about situation.
Right. Being in like a random studio.
So you gotta be sucking Cheeto dust on an island.
I mean, it's Jeff Prost.
Okay.
I would suck Jeff Prost Cheeto figures.
What if it's Jeff Prost PA? See, there we go. That's what I thought. Because now we're in Survivor territory. We're now in
No, I would do it.
Not in Silent Library territory.
I was gonna say, this makes me think of the Survivor Challenge, where they don't do it every season, but like they make you eat gross delicacies from the island.
Yeah.
And it's like a race to be like, who can swallow 2 live grubs faster?
Got
or like a cow's eye or a tarantula.
Now, see, those I feel like those are not your area of expertise.
No, I'm gonna let the team down immediately.
Yeah.
I'll make it up later to them. I'll like make them a palm tree bracelet or something. No, I'm losing the challenge.
Yeah.
You, I feel like, and you can't puke it up is the other thing. Like once the time is up, you can puke later.
Right. Yeah.
But it has to go down. Your tongue has to be clear. You have to show him your open mouth, and then it has to stay down.
Yeah. Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm losing for the whole team, but I have faith in you.
Hey, thank you. When that happens.
So you think that the Cheeto dust one is unfairly ranked as the hardest challenge? What do you think? What is the hardest challenge you've seen?
The hardest challenge I've seen
for you, like that would do you in?
A lot of it's gonna be physical stuff. I think, like a lot of the gross food stuff and the humor stuff, where it's like, oh, here's like I'm getting hit with like a teddy bear. This is like a wacky situation. Those are all fine. I think I can handle all those. And even the scared stuff, I'll figure it out. But the stuff where it's like, oh, you have like clips on your nipples.
Oh.
And someone's running at full speed. Yeah. And you got like the nipple clips.
Oh!
Yeah, they pop off.
Eythen!
Well, not the nipples, but just the clips. Jesus Christ. And that's Silent Library. Would you ever go on Silent Library?
No. No. Nope. And if we make it, I won't show up for filming.
You're not. Oh.
I'll do pre-pro. I ain't going. I can't watch that shit. I can't watch nipple clamps and wax crimes and food crimes and.
I didn't even mention waxing. Yeah.
I bet there's like, we're gonna rip off all your chest hair and you can't scream.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Can't be there.
Yeah.
I'll do some admin on the front end, but
in the back end.
No, because I can't see the footage.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, that would be helpful. Yeah. You'll be in the casting room going like, so, how do you feel about nipple play? Any thoughts there?
You know what? Eythen, thank you so much for sharing about your passions. I love being supportive about the things that you care about.
Thank you, Carolyn.
You know what? All that hardship I endured makes me wonder if you brought a little refreshment.
A refreshment? Maybe a snack?
A snack? I'm kind of more interested in what you brought to go with the snack.
Well, that will come later.
Oh, I don't get it yet?
Well, I mean, first we gotta reveal what the snack is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
Hey, Eythen?
Yeah?
I'm a little hungry.
You're a little hungry?
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Oh. Okay. I thought maybe it could be time for, the thing we do.
The thing...
Guys,
right.
That's gaslighting now.
Oh my god, guys, you're so right. Guys, it's cheese time!
Oh!
There we go.
Okay, ending.
There we go.
Guys, it's cheese time.
It's cheese time. This is the segment where I bring in a piece of cheese. And this time it's not from the shop. I know.
Betrayal!
I know it's betrayal. I went to my former employer, Sahadi's.
Dun, dun, dun.
There we are. That is good. I was in the area. I'm like, let me see what's going on, and I picked up a cheese because this is a classic cheese. This is a cheese that I feel like we should really engage with.
I'm ready.
Yeah, and for context, I did a poll. To help us figure out what cheese we should have on the episode.
Okay.
The choice was between a musty raw milk Alpine cheese
Mm-hmm.
or a cave-aged blue cheese.
Mm.
And 15 people voted for the cave-aged blue cheese. But 24 people voted for that musty raw cow milk Alpine cheese. So folks, today I have a Tome de Savoie.
French.
A Tome de Savoie, yeah.
And if I hate this cheese, I have all of your names who voted for it.
Yeah, you do.
You'll be hearing from my legal team, which is me when I'm angry.
Exactly. So first off, this is a tome. Tomes are a specific branch of Alpine cheeses. Whenever you have a really rich and fatty cheese that's left to settle, you'll get a lot of skim milk up top that you have to remove so you keep the extra fatty cheese. So that is what a tome is. A tome is that repurposed skim milk that's used to make a cheese.
Oh.
So oftentimes tomes are less fatty because it is made with that skim milk. And a lot of times the Tome de Savoie is produced as a remain of the Beaufort, another French cheese. So Tome de Savoie, a tome produced in the Savoie region of the French Alps.
I'm gonna run it back.
Yeah.
Alpine. We tried one.
Yes. Which one did we try?
I don't remember. It wasn't that unlike a cheddar to me in like the texture.
Okay.
Is that crazy to say?
I forget which Alpine it was, but I think so.
An Alpine is just a category of cheese that the average consumer doesn't know about.
Alpine more refers to cheeses that are produced in the Alps, whether it be French or Swiss Alps. And there's a lot of range. Like Comtés are considered Alpine cheeses, Gruyères.
Okay, I know Gruyere.
Yeah.
So the name just literally comes from the region, not the texture or the flavor.
Exactly. Alpine is a big umbrella term.
But I feel like most of our other cheeses are not named based on location, and instead on like the process and the texture. Interesting.
It is an interesting thing to note.
So this is made in the French Alps.
Yeah, it's made in the French Alps, specifically in the Savoie region.
The Savoie.
Yeah.
And so someone was making a different cheese.
Exactly. Ideally, someone was making a Beaufort, and as they let that settle, skim milk rose to the top.
And the skim milk was skimmed.
Right, and it was reused to make the Savoie. Or the tome.
Okay, I'm there.
Yeah. Great questions.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
what's this rind situation?
So the rind actually, as the cheese ages, the rind sort of builds itself up. It's a natural rind which we're free to eat.
I don't know that I want to eat something that looks like that.
And that's okay. You don't have to eat that.
I mean, show the camera up close. That's kind of like a terrifying thing to put in one's body.
Nah, it's just cheese. That's just cheese.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, before I even open this guy, I was thinking of pairings with this cheese. And it's recommended that you have a sweeter white wine, like a Pinot Grigio.
Okay, I can handle it.
And right here, I got the cheapest Pinot Grigio I could find.
Wow.
Because that'll make it extra sweet.
Exactly. If there's wine with it, I'm sure I can stomach the cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's musty. That is a musty guy. Give that whiff.
Oh my god, it smells like cat piss.
Yeah, that's cat piss, yeah.
You brought me cat piss cheese.
This is not good. This is
that rind looks so show the top to the camera. And it just grew that by sitting there?
Yeah.
I don't want to eat anything that grows that. What?
This is a very historical cheese.
It looks like it's 500 years old.
This comes from the Beaufort. It's very important.
Where even is Beaufort?
No, that's the other cheese.
Oh.
Where is Beaufort? Okay. Let's get a little piece.
Oh, it smells so
It does not
musty. It smells like an old library book, like mildew book.
It is the same. It is insanely musty. It is very musty.
You guys did this to me. I have all of your names.
Yeah, that's true. I'm excited. I've not had the Tome de Savoie.
I like the name. Donde se va?
It's a lovely
Donde
name.
se va?
Toms are Tom just really Tom. It rolls off the tongue.
Tom.
There's
Donde se va?
another Tom that I know that's the Tom St. George. Not as fun of a name, but it's a sheep's milk, which is nice.
Is it musty?
It's not as musty.
Is this like a hallmark of the Tom that it's?
This is the most popular Tom. Oh, but is a hallmark to be this musty?
And but can you tell me exactly what you mean by musty?
Well, it doesn't smell fresh.
Yeah, but musty's not moldy?
Not inherently.
It's like a drier.
Yeah.
Mold.
It's like when you're...
Mold is like moisture, and it feels dusty.
It feels dusty. It's like you're in an attic and you're smelling photographs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never feel hungry when I'm doing that.
Well, that makes one of us. So let's try it without the wine and then get an honest feeling. See, I think when you cut into it without the rind, it feels... You want my piece instead? I think without the rind, it feels more palatable.
It does.
Yeah, so I think it's mostly the rind.
Wait, there's almost like a winey, acidic-y something there.
I'll give it a try. To the Tom de Savoie. That's lovely. The aftertaste is
It doesn't taste like cat piss or old books.
Yeah. There is sort of an aftertaste to it. It's a drier aftertaste. It also kind of a rubber vibe to it a little. You get like a rubber feel?
I think there's a weird phantom chocolate note.
Interesting. A phantom chocolate note. I'm going to have to examine that one.
I really got him.
No,
Am I allowed my beverage?
Yeah, please. Cheers.
This is how he got me to eat the cheese.
I was like, I'm bringing wine.
Okay, they do pair exceptionally well together.
Yeah, let me get in on that.
Try it on its own first to look for the phantom chocolate.
Yeah, okay, good idea. I think I feel that. Yeah, it's really, really subtle.
Because I was naming that acidity, brightness, but there's a floral part, but it's rich and thick and creamy.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a whisper of cacao.
There's a sweetness in there, yeah.
The texture is dense and creamy.
Very much so, yeah.
Which I don't know that I love.
Why is that?
I feel like for it to be this creamy, I want it to be a little lighter and have a little more air in it. Like when I, I'm as a more novice cheese taster.
Yeah.
When I think a creamy cheese, I want it to be more of a brie, which is still rich and creamy, but it doesn't feel so dense.
Mm-hmm.
It's lighter and thinner. This is cream, has a very creamy mouthfeel, but is so thick and rich, and it's a little off-putting to me.
I do the richness does surprise me, especially with how this is like a skim milk based cheese.
Yeah, it's very rich. It feels very fatty and very creamy.
Exactly. Huh.
Is it a semi-hard? Oh, what's that face? You got a bad piece?
No, I got some of the rind in there.
Oh, you tried it?
Yeah.
Cat piss?
It's earthy. It's quite earthy. See, I didn't even get all the rind. I took off some of the top layer. I'm indifferent. Yeah, I think it does work very well with the wine.
But is there a cheese that doesn't work well with wine? Every cheese is enhanced by wine.
I think that's just wine.
Everything just enhances life?
Yeah. Classic Target couch pillow. Everything's enhanced with a little wine.
Enhanced is too big of a word for Target's merch. Everything's better with wine.
You're so right.
That's what they would say.
Yeah. Let's get us on the Target marketing staff.
Well, I've certainly had enough.
Yeah, I'll finish off. Do you want to split this last piece?
I have one more.
Yeah, well, we can just split this guy. And then, would you like to keep the Tom de Savoie?
No, you can have it.
Okay, I figured.
I don't often a sign that I like when I write cheeses is I'm thinking of other ways to use it, right?
Right.
Like the red Leicester, I was like, I gotta make a mac and cheese.
Yeah.
The blue cheese, gotta make martinis.
Of course.
Or the pecorino, not the tartufo, but what was the...
Oh, the amatrice.
The amatrice.
Yeah,
I was like, this could be beautiful, grated or shaved upon a salad, a bed of arugula.
Totally.
This zero inspiration.
See, this one have a great melt to it. So
Right, it could be like a grilled cheese, but I don't want more of it. I don't want the quantity that I would need for a grilled cheese. I'd be fine never tasting it again. It's not gross, but there's nothing about it that makes me want another bite.
Yeah, and that's fair. So,
but it's just so rich without really being salty,
right?
Without really being nutty, without really being particularly savory.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's kind of just...
It's a leftover cheese.
Yeah, it feels like, here's some aged milk fat for you.
Yeah. Let's say 5 stars. How would you rate the Tom de Savoie?
My gut's saying 2.
You're saying 2. Okay.
A 2-star cheese. I don't think it's revolting.
Right.
I would just never buy it or eat it.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning toward the 2.5, 3 line because similarly, like, I don't think this is one I'm going to reach for consistently. Right. But I respect it. I respect it. There's a lot of, like, fun flavors. The rind, again, it's not something, again, I'm going for, but it's a fun combination of this sweetness of the buttery cheese with the earthy rind. It's a fun, like, it complements each other.
And that's cheese time.
That's cheese time. Love it. And we have so much wine left.
I guess I have to pour a little more.
Yeah, oh man, I guess we'll have to finish this wine before the end of our episode. Crazy stuff. Carolyn, thank you for trying that Tom de Savoie. I know it wasn't your favorite.
But no one can say I'm not brave.
And I appreciate that.
Speaking of bravery.
Well,
that's the segue. Speaking of bravery. I want to speak about a brave man's venture into a new art form.
Is it about me making this short film?
Could be, but no.
Okay, got it. Okay. Who's this other brave man?
Steve Martin.
Very brave man.
Very brave man. When I say Steve Martin, what do you think of?
Is he the short one or the tall one?
Tall one.
Yeah. I think...
so you think of him and Martin Short as a duo?
Yeah. I also think of his movie Leap of Faith.
Okay. I haven't seen that one.
It's so good.
Fill me in.
He plays a traveling, like, evangelical preacher.
I'm very interested in preacher media.
Yeah, and it's so good. It was very, like, inspiring. Because I love preacher characters.
Yeah.
And that's, like, a vein I want to try to get into with my own character stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really... And Liam Neeson's in it, too. He plays the...
He's the Taken guy?
Yeah, he's the Taken guy. He plays the sheriff of the town, who's like, you're doing a scam here. You're, like, affecting a lot of, like, people who don't have a lot of money in this, like, small town. Great movie, but yeah.
My Steve Martin #1 project that comes to mind is Pink Panther.
Oh, great choice.
I love that movie with Beyonce Knowles. Before she became Beyonce Knowles Carter.
Right.
Yeah, I think I saw him in Cheaper by the Dozen too.
I forgot he was in a remake of that.
And yeah, Steve Martin, just like prolific comic career.
He's one of the best, yeah.
I was like looking over his Wikipedia. Born in Waco, Texas, which is some lore. He's turning 80 this year. Happy birthday, Steve.
Wow, yeah.
He was born in 1945. And he really rose to prominence in the 70s by being a just beloved stand-up comic. He did some writing gigs before that. He had a comedy special that got really beloved, but he was like a national touring stand-up. And it's cool how being a really good stand-up has led into this huge acting career.
Yeah.
He also has played the banjo his whole life.
I know about that. Yeah, I've seen images of that. Yeah.
But I bring him up and his banjo because I'm here today to talk about a musical.
A musical.
I haven't talked about a musical in a couple episodes. Beautiful. I adore musical theater. We all know this.
As we do.
Haven't talked about it in honestly far too long.
Yeah, but the last time was 13.
Which is
episode 2.
Episode 2, and not representative of the form. I'm here to talk about the musical Bright Star. Have you heard of it?
No, I don't think I have.
You're in for a treat.
Hell yeah.
So, Steve Martin has had this prolific career. He's always been interested in bluegrass music and banjo. And he teamed up with a songwriter, Edie Brickell, who is married to Paul Simon of Simon & Garfunkel.
Love.
And they collaborated on writing a bluegrass musical.
Mm-hmm.
If we kind of zoom out, American musical theater was in this very like classical operatic sound for most of the 20th century.
Okay.
If you think about some of the big ones of like Oklahoma or like My Fair Lady, all the Rodgers and Hammerstein, Cinderella, all of these like old musicals. And then we had like West Side Story even. All of these were more orchestral sounding, a more traditional breakdown of like strings, horns, piano, followed a pretty classical philosophy around their music making.
Yeah.
That kind of started shaking up around the turn of the century. We had like Rent, which brought in a pop rock sound. Flash forward even more, we had Lin-Manuel Miranda really bringing in hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
Now we have musicals like Six, which are electronic pop. Now we have, well, those are some of them.
No, is it stereophonic?
Stereophonic, play with music technically.
Okay.
So not talked about in the exact same way, but
Gotcha.
totally true. Like a
Okay.
very different sound of music.
Yeah.
And so I am really, as someone who loves the art form, as someone who really loves the history and the evolution of the form, I get very excited about new styles of music being brought into the canon.
Yeah.
As a girl from Appalachian, North Carolina,
Right.
who grew up around campfires with banjos, with mandolins, with fiddles, like with Appalachian stringed instruments.
Yeah.
When this musical came on the scene, I was very, very, very intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
So, they collaborate. Edie Brickell and Steve Martin collaborated on this musical. Steve Martin wrote the entire book.
Mhm.
So, for non-musical people, he wrote the text of the play. If you take out all the songs and it's just a play, he wrote that. He and his collaborator co-wrote the score.
Gotcha.
So they worked together to come up with what notes are the singers singing? What notes are the orchestra playing? And then his collaborator, Edie Brickell, wrote the lyrics. Important to note because the lyrics are kind of my biggest qualm with the piece. So
interesting.
It wasn't quite Steve's fault. Yeah, so 2016 kind of burst onto the scene. A newer sound, like a true bluegrass score. The orchestra is not a typical orchestra. It is like a stand-up bass. It is a banjo. It is a mandolin. It is a true, fairly authentic bluegrass piece.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to guess, what shocking, riveting plot point, if you were to write a whole musical around one shocking event involving an infant and a man in power, and your whole musical was going to revolve around one shocking action.
The birth of Christ?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
This whole musical is basically based on the folk tale of a baby getting yeeted off a train in a suitcase.
So, I don't think that happened to Christ. I think I missed something there. Because there weren't trains.
And were there suitcases?
They were not suitcases.
They were just satchels.
They were just satchels and bags, you know? And, yeah.
So I'm going to give you a brief plot overview.
Okay, yes, please do.
It's 1945.
Post-World War II.
Post-World War II in the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Shout out. And we meet this female protagonist. Her name is Alice, and she is a prominent editor at a newspaper, or at a journal, at a publication in Asheville.
Okay.
She opens by saying, I tell other people's stories. If you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell.
Classic.
So we're like, okay, we're going to hear your life story.
Yeah.
The piece alternates between present day, which is 1945, and flashbacks to when the protagonist was 16 in 1924.
Okay.
So we're playing with the 20s and the 40s.
Gotcha.
In current day, this young man comes back from World War II, and he has come back. Woohoo, war's over.
Let's go.
He is a writer, and he wants to pursue publication for some of his works. He really is like, I've done my duty. The war's over. Turns out his mom died while he was gone, and he was like, well, I'm going to be a writer.
Gotcha.
And he has this honestly extremely poorly written, irrelevant female confidant friend who becomes his girlfriend, who I did play in a production of this.
Oh wait, so
I did this musical.
But let's finish plot, and then I want to ask about your experience.
So this young boy comes back from war. He wants to write. He's like, I'm going to shoot for this Asheville publication. He goes to Asheville. He has a story he's trying to sell. They pretty much send him home. He tells some big bogus lie. Alice, the protagonist, takes interest in him and is like, that lie was so audacious. I'm going to give you a shot.
Okay.
And then we're in back and forth. She was 16. She had a young fighting spirit. We find out over course of events that she fell in love with a boy. His dad was the mayor. They didn't quite approve of them frolicking in the river and being foolish young children. We talk a lot about family pressures. She gets pregnant. And the boy who got her pregnant, his dad is the mayor. And the mayor and her own father decide that the best course of action is for her to go be pregnant away in like a cabin until the baby comes.
This is Alice.
This is Alice.
Yeah,
this is her backstory.
Yeah.
The current day is like this young writer, Billy, his kind of girlfriend, Margot.
And Billy is the
boy
soldier.
The soldier from war.
Yeah.
And so it's like 65% current and like 35% flashback.
Gotcha.
And in the flashback, Alice is pregnant. She gives birth to the baby. And in the present day, you know, he's like on this journalist mission. He's like really trying to get his work in.
So in the present, are we following more of Billy or more of Alice? Or is it
kind of more Billy? Alice is like the boss at the company that he's trying to get his work published by.
Right.
Flashback is mostly Alice. She has this baby. She finds out upon the birth that the men have decided the baby will be adopted, and she doesn't get a say in it.
Oh.
And she and her young love, Jimmy and Billy are nice Appalachian names.
Yeah, Jimmy Ray.
Yeah. Jimmy Ray and Alice are like, we want to get married, we want to keep the baby, and the adult men, the fathers, are like, too bad.
Yeah.
The mayor takes the baby, gets on a train. And Act 1 ends with him throwing the briefcase out the window of the train with the baby in it.
Holy shit. This is Act 1?
This is Act 1.
I gotta get more wine.
And the lyrics are, a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. And a man's gotta do what he's got to. I love the music of this piece. There's some songs that I listen to over and over and over again. There are some true, just like, works of art bluegrass musical theater. It's like bluegrass was always a little too folky twangy for me, and musical theater can be a little too polished and campy sometimes, and this kind of pulls the two worlds together in a way that I really, really enjoy. Sun is Gonna Shine Again is awesome. Every song that Alice sings, amazing. Yeah, let's pause the intermission. The baby's just gotten yeeted.
Yeah.
We have these two timelines going on.
Yes.
Adult Alice, young boy home from war. This young girl who's like such a poorly written character. I really have notes about her.
Yeah.
Margot.
Yeah. Intermission. Let's pause. Let's talk about this. You just mentioned that you were in a production of Bright Star. So let's talk about that. What was up with that?
I was a freshman in college, and I was like really eager to get involved with the Atlanta theater scene.
Yeah.
And I saw an audition coming up in Metro Atlanta. Not really Atlanta.
Okay.
Up in Woodstock. At Woodstock Arts, previously known as Elm Street Cultural Village. And it was like an hour 15 drive from campus.
Oh my god.
And I was like, no problem. I auditioned. I got cast as the female supporting role, Margot. Who is the love interest of Billy.
Right, the
returned soldier.
Yeah.
She has like a solo in Act 1. She has a duet in Act 2. She's she's a named character. She's just, I was a freshman in college. I was studying the craft.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this script? She has nothing. She has not one fact about her other than she misses Billy. She's glad Billy's back. And she works at a bookshop, but she doesn't even talk about it. She has no passion for books, no passion. Like, she does not talk about anything that's not related to Billy.
So what's her solo about exactly?
It's called Asheville. It's Billy has decided that he's come back home to his hometown. He's decided he's going to move to the big city to pursue writing. And she was hoping that when he came home from war, maybe they would finally date, get together. They were childhood friends.
Gotcha.
So her song is about, like, when you get to Asheville, write me if you will. Tell me how you're doing. I'll be waiting for you. I'll get through it because I waited for you through the whole war. I'll just keep waiting. No, she has nothing.
Yeah.
And then her Act 2 song is Always Will. We're supposed to be together. I know. I always have. I always will. I knew from the start. Like, she has nothing.
So how did you deal with that? Like, how did you play with that?
I really struggled. I struggled to find the depth. I made myself a secondary track because there's some great Appalachian like dance sequences. There's a song in Act 2. There's one in Act 1 that's like a very cool, steppy kind of soft, shoey, rhythmically cool dance.
Yeah.
In Act 2, Billy's writing at the Asheville Journal and he's like creatively stumped. And these two other characters, these like people who work at the Journal are like, buddy, have you tried drinking? It could help.
Great advice. Oh my God.
It's called Pour Me Another Round. And it's
banger. Okay.
The dance number in the show. I really like it. And my track didn't dance at all. And I was like, y'all are wasting my potential here. I was like, I have a blonde wig. Put me in, coach. So my solution was just giving myself a second role as unnamed blonde dance captain.
Oh.
So I put myself in every dance number, gave myself quick changes, put myself in a waltz. That's how.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I was like, and I enjoyed like the magic of being in a show.
Of course, yeah.
But no, I don't think I cracked the solution of like, I think now if I revisited the role, like.
How would you, looking back, if you were offered.
You just have to build all of the world fictionally for yourself and believe it as truth. Like whatever the script doesn't give you, you have to build out and make it just as real as what's in the text. I also was just having fun. I was like, I'm singing the notes and I'm here with the boy and then I do the dance number.
Yeah.
So I think I would lean more into like why, like how have I handled being my lot in life?
Yeah.
And I would try to put in some but I think I want more. In the show, what happens in Act 2?
Yeah.
He went off, he's writing. In present day, he has a piece that's getting some success. And so he asks Alice to come see his hometown. Because she's like, how are you writing about so much heart and so much community? And he's like, it's the heart of Appalachian, North Carolina. Come to my small town. It's not like Asheville. And she's from like Raleigh or something.
Gotcha. Raleigh.
Yeah. And so when he goes back and he shows Alice his town and he reconnects with Margot, he decides to actually move back to the hometown and like be with Margot. So she gets what she set out of wanting of like, I want to be with Billy. And in the end she gets to be with Billy. But that alone to me is not compelling or realistic for what... I mean, I know that like on the surface, sure, women at the time wanted their beau.
Right.
But there was so much more going on that I didn't explore, and the text does nothing to assist you with. But, you know, you can build a lot on your own as an actor.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So the reveal of Act 2.
Right.
So Alice is like, sure, I'll come see your hometown. She says, but I have to go to Raleigh and do some business. While she's there, she goes and looks at some adoption records because she's curious about what happened to her baby. Oh. She doesn't know about the train yeeting. She is curious. In a flashback, we find out that the mayor told his son, the baby daddy, and he was like, well, I can never see her again. I can't face her and tell her what happened. Right. So he ghosted Alice. So part of her backstory is she had this baby, it was taken from her, and then the man left her too. Yeah. So they go look at the adoption records. She finds out that he was adopted. He had a happy life, is what the record says. So she goes home. She goes to Billy's hometown. And while she's there, like seeing his town, he's showing her around, she recognizes a baby sweater. Because she spent her pregnant cabin stay knitting to like pass the time. Yeah. She recognizes a sweater that she knitted. And she like is having this like, something is off here. Something's familiar. Why have I felt so connected to this kid? He actually is the age my kid would be. I recognize this sweater. And she asks Billy's dad, like, what's the story of your son? And he's like, I went down to the creek because I heard some bullfrogs croaking. And you know what I found? A goddamn baby in a briefcase. So I took that baby in and now here he is, 24 years old. And she's like trying to put the pieces together. And she has this beautiful 2-song, like this back-to-back song arc. Alice's songs are some of my favorite, like female songs in musical theater.
Mhm.
They really are. They're beautiful. Carmen Cusack's voice is stunning.
Shout out Carmen Cusack.
Shout out. And so she's like figuring it out, and she tells Billy, "I think you're my son." And he's like, "Nah, dog," because his mom had died while he was overseas.
Oh.
And he was like, "I don't want to hear about this. Don't disrespect my mother. You're
Mhm.
my boss.
Yeah.
Peace." And she has her like her 5 o'clock number, her 11 o'clock number. You know.
Mhm.
Oh my God! At last, I figured it out. My son's not gone. He was thrown off a train, but he's alive.
Right.
And then it all wraps up because Billy is like, you know what? I want to go talk to her. So everyone goes back to Asheville. We wrap it all up in a bow. Here's Margot. You're my mom. It's okay now. And Margot is like, and I'm his fiance. And he's like, you are? And she says, mm-hmm. And then Alice is like, well, looking over at duh. Her baby daddy comes back and they reconnect.
Of course.
And they reconnect, and he tells her what happened. Of like the baby off the train.
Mm-hmm.
And they like have a grieving moment together.
Yeah.
And then the Billy piece comes in. So she like goes and gets the adoption papers. It's all good. Then she comes across her old baby daddy, and he's like, not all good. The baby was thrown off a train.
Boo.
And so then they like grieve together.
Yeah.
And then she goes to Billy's hometown. Oh my God, you're my son. Nah, don't disrespect my dead mom. Runs off.
Actually, maybe.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, let's all be friends again, and we're gonna get married, and this couple's gonna get married, and the show's over. I would play the songs, but...
Copyright.
Well, I was gonna say we'll get demonetized. It's not like we're monetized.
Yeah, it's not like we're making any money right now. I spent $20,000 on wine.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm broke.
Yeah, so that's the story. A lot of people don't notice the Steve Martin thumbprint on it because, I mean, often he's included when people are promoting it because it helps you sell tickets. So like, Steve Martin made this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story is, it's what I said.
Yeah.
But I really, really, really love the music, especially not the Margot character. Again,
yeah.
I have a lot of notes.
Mm-hmm.
But the Alice character, this is like, when I'm 36, I've got to play this role. Because you have to be young enough to play the 16 version of her.
Right. Falling
in love, being a reckless young kid, rebelling against your parents, getting pregnant, getting the baby taken. And then you need to play like the 46-year-old journal executive who has all of these big reckonings.
Wait, so were they played by the same actor? There's in like a...
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Same actress.
Gotcha.
Yeah. She plays all of it.
I was expecting like a young actor versus...
No, it's all the same actress.
Wow, okay.
So... For all the ways that Margot got really slighted in the writing, like, Alice is a tour de force star vehicle.
Yeah, Alice sounds like such a complex character.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in her.
Yeah, and the music's crazy. Guys, go listen to At Long Last.
At Long Last from Bright Star. Man. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
It's great. I mean, Theater Emery's doing it. One of my home theaters did it like a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. If I was running a community theater, I would totally have it in the programming. Guys.
Yeah, Carolyn. Yeah,
that's Bright Star.
Yeah, that's Bright Star. And Carolyn, I really want to watch it.
Yeah.
I want to watch it. I want to be in a production.
We should have an album listen through. Or a stage reading. Wait, maybe for my birthday, I'll like make everyone do a stage reading.
I'd be down. Would it be a Bright Star or a Cabaret? Okay. Cabaret? Me as Liza Minnelli? I don't know.
It is my birthday. I need to be Liza Minnelli.
Oh, man.
For your birthday. But you have to wait. Because yours is after mine.
Yeah, my birthday, I'll be Liza Minnelli and
Cabaret. My birthday, I'll be Liza Minnelli and Cabaret.
And I'll sing Maybe This Time. Maybe this time. For the first time.
Maybe this time. I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. Guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, this is That THAT TRACKZ, and this is, I think, a very fun episode.
We have fun here on That THAT TRACKZ.
That's our first goal. First goal is fun. Second goal.
It's cultural theorism.
Exactly.
Guys, Thank you for all your support. Our podcast has really been growing a lot. Our socials are growing. Our
100%.
listenership is growing.
A shout out to Carolyn, who's been killing it with social media.
Thank you very much. Shout out to Eythen and Jimmy working together to edit everything.
But we collaborate, of course.
But really, thank you for tuning in. We do it for fun, but it is nice when people listen and watch.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Eythen, where can you find the pod?
We could find the pod on Instagram. Oh wait, to listen to it or to just
any of them? Plug it all.
Yeah, if you want to see some of our reels, you'll see that on Instagram at THAT TRACKZ. THAT.TRACKZ with a Z instead of an S, very important. .pod, and then also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio. I know we got some iHeartRadio stands in there for sure. And yeah, maybe listen to us anywhere. Listen to us on the train. On your way to work, on your way leaving work.
On a little walk. It's getting nice out. What better way to enjoy the spring weather than that tracks in your headphones and a little walk about town? 1 hour. 1 hour of walking a day could change your life.
And see, 1 hour is so little time in the span of a 24-hour day. That's
so true. In the span of what's 24 times 7?
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me right
7
now.
7 times 2 is 140.
Oh, shit.
4 times, I think 168. Is that right?
Oh,
Let's pretend there are
think it is.
168 hours in a week.
Okay, sure.
2 times 7? Okay, guys, I was a mathlete. There are 168 hours in the week. One of them to listen to That TRACKZ pod? Come on. You're cooking dinner. You're doing laundry. You're cleaning the bathroom. You're walking the dog. You're on the way to work.
Yeah, it's like, let's listen to what do Eythen and Carolyn have to say. Yeah.
In the words of my dad, oh yeah, it's where you talk a lot.
Period. That's what we did a lot today, I feel like.
Guys, thank you for listening. Check out that.tracks.pod on Instagram. In our link tree, there are links to all of our streaming options. Check out Eythen's Instagram at EYTHEN_Anthony, ANTHONY.
Yeah, and check out Carolyn's Instagram at Carolyn Ausler. Carolyn spells CAROLYN .
No!
All one word. CAROLYNOURSLER.
Guys, check us out. We love you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Have a good week, folks.
You better.
You bet. We'll know. We will know.
Guys, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.